We're going to take a look at topic 5.5, example 4, operations with functions, and more specifically, composition of functions. Let's jog our memory a little bit on what a function is. A function is kind of like a machine. You see we have this equation, and we have our function notation. This is read f of x. And you don't necessarily have to have an x in the parentheses. It could be any variable. And what this represents is our input. So we can put in different values here, and then we would substitute those values in wherever I had a variable. I would substitute that value in, and we would go ahead and simplify, and what comes out is the output. You can also think of that as the answer. Now, if I gave you f of 2, you know you would go to your function, and everywhere that you saw x, you would put in a 2. So we would have 2 squared plus 3 times 2 minus 2, and then you'd simplify it, and we'd get 4 plus 6 minus 2. 4 plus 6 is 10, minus 2 is 8. And 8 is our output. So now let's kick it up a notch. We're going to go into composing functions. So what it means to compose functions is to evaluate a function within another function. So here we're given f of x equals x squared and g of x equals x plus 1. And in A, we're asked to find f of g of 3. So let's write this out. This means that we need g of 3 as our input. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do this in colors, and hopefully everything will kind of come together. So this is f of g of 3. So what I want to do first, I need to evaluate g of 3. The output of g of 3 is going to now be my input for f. So let's find out, what is g of 3? So g of 3 equals 3 plus 1, which is 4. So now I have f, my function f, and my input is going to be 4. So now let's take a look at function f. Function f is x squared. So that now means wherever that x is, I'm going to put in that input of 4. So 4 squared is 16. 16 is my output. F of g of 3 equals 16. Now on B it says find the rule for f of g of x. Now again, remember your function here, this x plus 1, it represents some unknown number. Anytime we use a variable, it is just a placeholder for an unknown value. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take my function f, and my input is going to be the entire function g of x. So this is f, and g of x is x plus 1. So I am looking for f of x plus 1. Now remember, your function f is x squared. So that means, here's my placeholder, this is where the x goes. Inside, to replace the x, I'm going to put in x plus 1. And now we're going to simplify. This is a polynomial identity. This is a perfect square trinomial. So I'm going to get x squared, square your a value. 1 times x is just x, you double it. So that is 2x, and then 1 squared is 1. If you're not comfortable using your polynomial identities, you can go ahead and write this out as x plus the quantity x plus 1 times the quantity x plus 1. Use your distributive property and FOIL it. You're going to arrive at the exact same answer. So now here, my rule is f of g of x equals x squared plus 2x plus 1. My input was g of x. My output is x squared plus 2x plus 1. Here's your try it. Go ahead and, if you missed class, pause the video, give them a try on your own, and then come on back and check your answers. So here we go. We are looking for f of g of 2. So again, that is the same as f, and I'm going to input g of 2. Let's determine what g of 2 is. So it's 3 times whatever 2 is, which is 6. So again, my input on g of x was 2, my output is 6, and now my output of 6 becomes the input for the function f. So now I have f of 6. So f of x is 2x minus 1. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that placeholder wherever I see a variable. And now let's plug in the 6. 2 times 6 minus 1, 12 minus 1, that gets us 11. So 11 is our output. And now B, f of g of x. So we would have f, your function f. Your input is going to be g of x. So we have f. G of x is 3x. My function f is 2x minus 1, so again, I'm going to leave just a little space. I'll put parentheses in wherever I have a variable. And then I'm going to input that 3x in. And now let's simplify. 2 times 3x is 6x minus 1. And 6x minus 1 is our output. It is our function rule for f of g of x.